Should the board be stripped of its power to choose textbooks? Join us right now from the Discovery Institute.
I have some specific problems with his sources of information.
An organization that has been heavily involved in the Texas case is Casey Luskin. Good morning to you, Casey.
Thanks for having me. This is not about teaching creationism. This is simply about allowing students to hear about some of the evidence that challenges evolution as well as the evidence that supports it.
Right, exactly. Now, and you told me during the break about 100% of the mainstream books get it wrong regarding evolution. And for instance, Haeckels Embryos, how do they get that wrong, all the books?
I was trained as an embryologist, so his citing the case of Haeckels embryos in teaching caused me to say, what?
Well, there are biology textbooks in use today that use these drawings of vertebrate embryos, things like chickens and cows and humans. And biologists have known that these drawings were fraudulent.
Haeckel did commit scientific fraud. Look at how similar his drawings are for early-stage embryos of everything from fish to birds to humans compared to actual photos made a decade ago by Richardson, Hankin, and others.
That these drawings are fraudulent.
But there's a second part, which is the accusation that Haeckel's drawings continue to be used in textbooks.
And they are still in many textbooks that are used today.
He misdraws them so that they really do look.
He's 120 years ago. It's
yeah,
so far in the past. It's not. There's no relevance to what's taught today in embryology courses.
Well, and the biology textbooks, that's what you find.
No, you don't find. There's no trace of, other than a mention that Haeckel once upon a time came up with this fixed idea of ontogeny recapitulation.
Well, he found repeated use of these images.
I notice you've got an intro biotext there. I'm sure we could pull it out and look at what they've got for Haeckel's law.
I've looked at the textbooks myself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say that I've done an analysis for Haeckels Embryos. I mean, if you want to...
Let's take a look at that textbook right there when we look up if they've got Haeckel in here. And this will be interesting.
Is that a college book or is that a high school?
Yes, this is college and high school, I think. And it's a question of how they even spell Haeckel.
You see the blue one?
Yes, sir.
Oh, the blue one.
Oh, this one here.
The blue one.
Oh, this one here.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, they don't even mention Haeckel in here.
Look under embryo.
Not even mentioned in this text so far in the past. Yeah. Biogenesis, but that wouldn't even.
So what it comes down to for you is 100%, near 100% of the textbooks get it wrong. You're not taking a side whether evolution is right or creationism right. You're just simply saying if the textbooks are going to be teaching evolution, get it right because everybody's getting it wrong.
Even before this recent controversy, you know, you'd see Haeckels Embryos as an example of kind of a historical. It would be in the introductory section of the book, or when they're talking about the history of evolutionary biology. Nobody was teaching from these things anymore.
Well, we don't support the teaching of creationism, but we do support the teaching of good science.
Oh, no, wait a second. Here we go. In this book.
There's an older book.
Here we have a book that does mention it. And let's see. This is from 1914.
And they are still in many textbooks that are used today.
This is from 1914.